Hi everyone. I'm so glad you're here today. This one will take a little bit longer for my Friday review because I need to give you a little background. Um, I need to go through what we've gone through with Joseph and how all the different things we've tried and how this one is different for us. So first I want to show you, I'm going to be using some pictures, but I do want to show you what we looked like before all this started. That was probably our last hiking trip on the Appalachian. We used to ride bikes all the time. We used to hike all the time. This one was a 4-day one. It was a pretty crazy one, but we loved it. We had a great time with it. But that's what we looked like before uh, everything happened. We had decided we wanted to move to Florida. We found each other finally. It took forever. Now that's a story unto itself. And a shout out to Lynn for that. I'm sure she still remembers how she got us together. But then we had found each other. We knew we wanted to spend our life together and share our life together. So we decided to move to Florida. And when we did that, we of course we had to pack up and move and get everything ready to go. And in the process of doing that, Joseph hurt himself. Well, he thought he pulled a muscle in his back. In fact, we went to the ER because it just kept getting worse. And when we got to the ER, they said nothing's showing up, everything looks great. So they sent him to physical therapy. It didn't help, it actually got worse. So, long story short, scary story short, ended up he had what's called multiple myeloma, which is bone marrow cancer. Some people just call it bone cancer, but it's not actually. For Joseph, his outer bone is very, very strong, but his the marrow is like they likened it to butter, which it's not supposed to be. So, and it still is. It's never gone away on that. So, something he'll always have to deal with. And what happened when he had that happen was he got what's called a compression fracture. The best way to describe that is to take a styrofoam cup and smash it. And that's what happened to his vertebrae. He ended up having 13 of them smash like that. The very first one we did in Virginia, they didn't know what they were doing, and they put it's called a kyphoplasty, but the layman's term is don't cement, and sometimes it can go in there and it can fill in all those cracks and holes and bring it back up. Now that didn't work for Joseph, so we ended up having it, and so they did that one, and it is there now. There's nothing we can do about it, and he will always be in pain because they didn't do it correctly, and you can't change it now. Now, once we got to the right hospital and got the right care, he had 12 more, and they've all been fine. His back is probably stronger than ours, but in the process, he lost 4 inches. So now he's shorter than me. He had 2 stem cell transplants, and I'll explain that a little bit for you. In his case, he was able to use his own stem cells. So what they do is they go in and they give you high dose chemo and bring you down to nothing. All your numbers are 0. Platelets are 0. White blood count is 0. Everything's 0. And they harvest your stem cells. And then they bring you back up, and it takes about 6 weeks. And for Joseph, it was right at 6 weeks, but he had some blood clot issues, and he ended up getting pneumonia. So he had to fight through all that first. And we did make it home for Thanksgiving on that one. And we got to go home for a few days, and then he had to come straight back again. And they did high dose chemo again and brought him down to nothing again. And the fact that he had not had chemo, he was able to get about 20 million good stem cells. And in fact, they're still in the freezer in Little Rock, the ones that he hasn't used, in case they come up with something else. And so they bring him down to nothing again, to 0, 0, 0. And then rescue him with his stem cells that were good. And there's another. Well, we didn't actually stay. They had mercy on us and let us be home. We got home on Christmas Eve. We did, yes. So we got home on Christmas Eve, and then we had to do it one more time because they found out for multiple myeloma, if you do tandem, and he was under the requirements for that he gave a better outcome. So we'll go on to that, and we come back on his birthday. We had my birthday with him getting stem cells transplant, and then we had to go back on his birthday to start the second one. Now, this one, he wasn't too hip on doing, but he asked me, and I asked him to do it because we had finally found each other, and, let's try it. Well, this one was so bad. It ended up, he has the stomach issues that he takes the highest. One's called Reglan. That's the one you can take. That's it's going to do the most work. And a side note for me, because the stress was so intense from moving and trying to keep him alive to get this done, I went into stress-induced menopause. So I started gaining weight like crazy during the stem cell transplants. Now, I had been vegan for so long that I didn't have any other symptoms, but the weight gain was there. So I'm going to show you what we look like after the stem cells. And it's a little bit of difference. So that's us now. But I am able to start taking care of myself again, and I'm starting to feel better already. But as you can tell, we don't look the same anymore. We are not the same people anymore, but we're still here and enjoying the time that we have. So during this whole thing, we got all the stem cells done. We got to be in remission, not stringent, which means 0, but we did get low enough that he could get off chemo for a couple of years, but now we're back. Once it stops working, his body, you can tell, he starts having lots and lots of problems, and platelets can't stay up, his red blood counts nothing stays up, and we're doing blood transfusions all the time. But his chemo is working again. He's in remission again, but with chemo you have all the issues of chemo. You have the cognitive issues, you have memory issues, you have to worry about getting sick all the time. So we were going through all that. And in fact, he actually has a pain pump now. That was first game changer for us because we were just getting higher and higher on the meds and nothing was working. It's a morphine, and he does take oxycodone for breakthrough pain. And he does still have the stomach issues, even though we're taking the best we can, because with that high dose chemo 3 times, it just irritated the lining. It's nothing wrong with it physically. It just stays irritated. Could be a lot worse. So we have tried everything. We have done everything. I have never given up. If he wants to fight, then I'm going to fight with him. So my goal is to always make him as comfortable as possible because he did this for me. So we've done medical marijuana. He's not having to do that anymore because of what we found. He still has the pain pump. He will always have that. It was such a game changer. But it wasn't making it to where we could do anything. We couldn't travel, which is what we want to do. And we want to take some train rides. We want to go to the Grand Canyon, things like that. So when we were doing the medical marijuana, my son started talking about terpenes. Now, terpenes are part of the plant. A lot of plants have them. That's what you get the smell from. And you can take that terpene and you can dry and you can cure it. And so I told you about the vitamin sprays the other day. Well, this same company has terpenes. Now, this one is called Comfort. I have my thing over here, right? And this one is called Chill. Now, Joseph takes the Chill and it kind of is what it says. It helps him with his anxiety, just helps him chill out, but it also helps him with his cognitive issues. We have a therapist that comes and takes care of Joseph and helps him with that by using these games, and it's awesome. And we're able to take, he's able to take this now and get through those games now. He'll probably not have to have her for much longer because he's doing that well. I can actually take him. I think I can take him now to go on trips and not worry that he might get lost, because that has happened before. And he doesn't hurt. And on the comfort one, he can take that and not have to deal with those intestinal issues. It's gone within minutes. And it's like I have Joseph back. And I can see us being able to not just survive at this point. We can start living again. And that has meant everything to us. So I am going to put a link again in the comments where it's my link. I have decided, well, already had decided with the sprays that I wanted to be an ambassador. So I'm going to stay with that. This is also a company, by the way, that, I have had companies come, I've seen friends do companies over and over again. I have companies that I buy from that I'm fine being a customer, but I would never want to have it as an income stream at all. I just didn't feel like I could do that. This one I do. I feel safe enough that the way that it's set up, that if somebody wants to have an income stream, I would feel comfortable helping them do that. It's not something that I'm doing like for full time or anything like that, but I could get you set up where you need to go. But I will be, my group, my Happy Thyroid group is not for this. I am starting another group because I'm using different products in there. I've started a medical grade collagen. So I want to try those things out, and I want a place where I can show you how it's been going for me and for Joseph. This terpene is not from the cannabis plant. They do have some hemp products, but I've tried some of them, but just one. But some things I like, some things I haven't really tried yet, and some things I'm not sure about yet because of the ingredients. So far, everything's been vegan that I've been able to use, which I like that. I don't think the one of the collagens is, though. But anyway, I wanted to let you know about the terpenes. It's a game changer for us, and I hope if you like it, it could be a game changer for you. I'll let y'all go, and have a great day.